Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. This is an Army, looks like a formal situation here, and we're going to watch a colors posting. This is, tell you what, we'll do this. There we go. That's better. So I've skipped about a minute. Yeah, almost. It'll be almost 2 minutes before the Sergeant First Class here gives the command for port arms, but they've fallen in at attention. And then what you can see here is 3 different sized flagstaffs. Wrong. There are only 2 sizes of flagstaff for the Army. That's either 8 foot or 9.5 foot. That's it. No others. I don't know why there's 3 staffs here that are all different sizes. That's very strange. Anyway, only 3x4 flags are mounted on the 8-foot staffs. And then they can also, only for the Army, they can also be mounted on the 9-foot 6 flags. It looks kind of strange to me because the staffs are extra long and then the flags look very tiny on there, but it keeps them out of the color guard's face. So then there's the other size flag, which is 4 foot 4 inches by 5 foot 6 inches, which can be measured or mounted on the 9-foot 6 staff. So those are the only 2 sizes of flags. Those are the only 2 sizes of staff. And then all Army staffs have to have the flat silver spade, or it's sometimes called the Army spearhead, but most commonly it's called the spade. So we have Sergeant First Class here with a strange scabbard hanging down. That's not actually, it looks like, I'll tell you what it looks like. It kind of looks like almost like my Army NCO sword. Almost. I mean, it's a little similar. I don't know. Anyway, there's there's some confusion. Now in this case, this is fine. You get the first sergeant, probably the sergeant major, actually, to bring the colors in and for a formal occasion like this, and then he gives all, or she gives all the commands and takes care of the color guard like that. And then so many others apply that to almost every colors situation at any other time, and that's not supposed to be. We'll call it, because first responders do this and even cadets do this. So I'll call it the outside commander, outside of the formation. There's a lot of misinformation about the commander being outside of the formation. The formation commander is this sergeant right here, period. And that's who is supposed to call the commands all the time, except for this situation. If the sergeant major or first sergeant wants to step in and do this, there's a formal explanation of what goes on in the Army training circular, which is fine. It works really well. It's a nice tradition that's okay. So if you look at the comments on this video here, and let me go back here. If you look at the comments on this video, this is posting the colors, and I have no idea what that name is there. So anyway, if you look at those, you'll see that there's all kinds of people saying what's wrong with this, and they are half right, but a lot is wrong with the comments. So one of the comments from a commandant, I didn't click on the screen name, was about the staff height, and that's correct, absolutely correct. But then there's another comment of it looks like specialists here. Why are 2 specialists holding the colors when there's NCOs as guards? Well, here's the thing. And see, this is kind of difficult to see, and also it's difficult for others to comprehend this. We have to have a separation of what I call regulation drill, which comes to, a lot of people call it regulation drill, but It comes purely from, in this case, Training Circular, the Army's case, Training Circular 3-21.5. For the Marine Corps order, it's 5060.20. For the that's for the Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard. And then for the Air Force, it's the new Air Force pamphlet, or as I call it, the sticky note for the Air Force and Space Force. And, a sticky note is a pamphlet, not much of a difference there. But anyway, so look how they're standing. They're standing with heels and toes together. This means they are ceremonially trained. So here is a bit of a difference. Now, since they're ceremonially trained, they're part of the post honor guard, and they go out and do funeral missions and other colors, presentations, etc. So they have ceremonial training, and you can see there. It looks like we have a couple of C-fists here, although two aren't using the C-fist, and the Army C-fist is like that, if you can see that. So anyway, so C-fist looks like, anyway, the picture isn't all that clear. It might clear up once I click play. I know I'm talking a lot, but I need to set the stage for this. So keep in mind that they're ceremonially trained. Now I'll click play. So he'll give, I didn't watch absolutely everything. All right, so he said color guard. He actually should have said colors. Both ceremonial and regulation drill call the team colors. So and him prefacing the attention command with colors, or in this case color guard, is a ceremonial technique. It identifies only the color guard when there's other units around, other ceremonial elements around. And it's common to have that called in every situation because it becomes natural. Colors, attention. So, but he says color guard. And what I'm talking about is colors, parade, rest, or colors, something else. So having those two commands in front is not uncommon at all. So, but they're not using. See, they're using ceremonial technique, but they're not using ceremonial technique. And the way they have the angle with the rifles, that's not ceremonial technique. But let's continue. So bearers went to. Okay, so let's see. So that is an NCO sort. Not very common at all, but they're out there. Anyway, the bearers are at the port for what I call port for colors. You can look up that hashtag on Instagram, and it shows you port for colors techniques and going to angle port and all that stuff. So he does have an Army NCO sword. It looks like. Now, what he just it looks like it. There's I forget what it's called. The Marine Corps calls it a knuckle bow to protect the knuckles there. So he yells out, "Make way for the colors!" And you can see in the comments, where's that in the training circular? Well, it's not there, and it's not there because the training circular was written for very, very specific instances of mostly military parades and reviews, and that's almost it. For this situation, since they're ceremonially trained, calling out "make way for the colors" is when there's a crowd in front of you, not this situation. So the Sergeant First Class is actually wrong for saying that, and I say that he's wrong. There's a time to use it, and there's a time not to use it. This is not the time to use it. I'll let you be the judge as to why. I'm not able to read his mind. So the team comes through. doing a nice job actually advancing the colors. You can see they're not moving back and forth. The team is gliding through. The camera operator is not gliding through, but you know. So we come up and go into an automatic mark time. All right, that's also a ceremonial technique. Before the ceremony, the lead guard and the commander, the color sergeant, or the commander who is outside of the formation in this case, probably went up and said, "Okay, you're going to post into this huge stand here. This is where the American flag goes. So take a step or a step and a half or so beyond where we're going to post the colors, and then everything's going to be fine. You pick up mark time there. The rest of the team comes in. The commander gives." The outside commander, in this case, gives about 4 or so steps at mark time to call the so that the team can get up, I'll scrunch up a bit, and he calls colors, and they halt, step, and slide. So the step and slide now tells me that they are definitely ceremonially trained. When for many honor guards will wear, and I don't have my shoes handy actually. So on the inside of the heels we'll wear cheaters, metal strips, and those metal strips make it difficult to execute regular movement. So if you're going to colors, halt, and then come down like that, like we usually do, with that added metal, it can overlap and pull off, and you can hear the screws pull out, and you're asking for trouble. This is why we do that. So it's colors, halt, step, and then slide over like that. So that's what they did. It's a colors turn on, and they did it just fine. It was really well executed. Nice job. So the one thing that I'm interested in, so I get why they're doing this, but so it's a little bit out of sequence here. The room setup is forcing them to go to the stands first. Well, I'll call them the stands. That big. Boy, I don't know what you'd call it. Anyway, they're having to go to the stands first, not centered on the head table. The head table actually is right here, right here. It looks like, with everybody who's got some lots of yellow on their sleeve and lots of yellow on their shoulders. So we've got the head table there, but the room is situated so that they can't do the normal, what the training circular describes as bringing in, presenting the head table, and then moving around behind the head table and posting. But so anyway, they've done it here. Ceremonial training would require them to present the colors to the audience for the national anthem and then turn around and post the colors. They're choosing to do it this way. Fine. This is a mix of the training circular's description of the colors posting, and then using ceremonial techniques within that framework. That's what I'm getting out of it. So the turnaround here, it's not usual, not at all, but it's something that they had to do. So here we've got the top of the flag's fringe going to the right. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be. Looks like it's the same for the Army, although it's almost impossible to tell because of the battle streamers. But then it looks like this is looks like a cross, a medical group, maybe organization. I'm not sure. I'm looking at the the GO PC here, and it looks like it's I'm bad with colors, sorry, but it looks like it's maroon, and so this could be a medical unit. That's possible. So anyway, but the fringe on the flag there on the top of the flag is off to the left, and that's not supposed to be. All flags in the United States, because we read left to right, all flags are draped to the right. So that top fringe is supposed to, at least for me, drape off to the right. For you, it would drape off to the right as you're watching this. So they did that well. Nice job. And they move to present. All right. So then I will skip the national anthem. One thing I've noticed from the very beginning is the Army color bearer's head is slightly angled to the right and forward. And I don't know. I just I noticed the physical order arms, and then they're going to turn and leave. So not bad. Color guard, colors turn, march. Colors turn, march. They're actually supposed to do a colors turn off, which is turning to the right. They're having you turn to the left because they're facing in inverted line formation there to post. This is the only time a color guard turns to the right to go to inverted line, is to directly post the colors. That's the only time. It's explained in the training circular and used. Everybody understands why it has to happen this way. The Marine Corps order has that football diagram, which it works as well. This is a lot easier, but so they execute a colors turn and then step off. So this is ceremonial technique all throughout. It's just that many of the commenters have no idea what ceremonial technique is. All right, so thank you, camera operator. The team did well. I would suggest a couple of differences. Now, see, just an observation: his head over to the right and then slightly forward, and I just wonder. It just seems interesting to me. Don't know exactly what's going on, but well, wish him well anyway. So, not exactly within standards for the Flagstaff's movements were handled well, honestly. Now I don't remember if I ever explained why there's two specialists holding the flags and why there's two staff sergeants who are senior to the sergeant here holding the rifles. So it's at the ceremonial level. Yes, there needs to be a color sergeant, but the rest of the color bearers, the guards, the rank really doesn't matter, because it's whoever is most comfortable and knowledgeable, especially knowledgeable about the equipment. And so our two staff sergeants were fine with being rifle guards, and then apparently everybody else here, color bearers, were good with that. The most knowledgeable needs to be the bearer of the U.S. flag, and then the second most knowledgeable really needs to be the lead guard. Everybody else can meld in somewhere in there, but these two who are leading absolutely everything, they need to be the most knowledgeable, if there is such a thing for the team. Hopefully your whole team is trained and up to a good level, but every once in a while you'll get but they're well practiced, they're well trained, they're with seasoned members. They go in and they've got 1, 2, 3, 10 colors presentations under the belts and or under their belt, and everything goes fine. So wearing the scabbard a little forward as well. It should be directly at the side. And then, the hands, C-fist or no. C-fist I would recommend since you're standing with heels and toes together. But without knowing that they're ceremonially trained and using ceremonial techniques in a more or less regulation drill situation, then those who are commenting, and I suggest you go to the video. I'll put the link down below. I suggest you read them, and we really need to have a better understanding of American drill and ceremonies when working in this context here. All right, so thanks for watching. I appreciate it.